Have the tripod with you? The small one? Oh.
I like these director's chairs.
Yeah. Me too.
GPT-5. Now it's like talking to an expert, a legitimate PhD level expert in any area you need.
Try and get a second table, bro.
They can help
Like a chair or something.
Yeah, we're literally just gonna have to put it here. Like, I think.
It's not only asking enough. GPT-5 can also do stuff. It can write an entire computer program from scratch to help you with whatever you like. And we think this idea of software on demand is going to be one of the defining characteristics of the GPT-5 era. It can help you plan a party, send invitations, order supplies. It can help you understand your healthcare and make decisions on your journey. It can provide you information to learn about any topic you'd like, and much more. This is an incredible superpower on demand.
I'm not going to be able to set this up just yet. I need to put the attachment on the
Yeah.
bottom.
You get access to an entire team of PhD-level experts in your pocket, helping you with whatever you want to do. And anyone, pretty soon, will be able to do more than anyone in history could. So today, we're going to talk about GPT-5. We'll show you some upgrades to ChatGPT, and we'll talk about the API. GPT-5 is great for a lot of things, but we think it's going to be an especially important moment for businesses.
Thumbnail looks weird. Yeah, it looks like that.
Let me see. Wait, show me again. Like, share, subscribe. I never put that there.
Okay. Yes, let's go. We're up. Okay, yes. Okay. Perfect.
I can't do anything about thumbnail unless I take it down.
Oh, no worries. Awesome. Thank you, brother.
Is there any way to get like a stool or like another table right here? Just so I have room for this and food.
Yeah, I understand.
And the exciting thing is, we're excited to make this available to
I understand. Just anything. It could be a high
After we show our demos, we're going to be talking about how GPT-5 supercharges our ChatGPT app and our API. We believe that GPT-5 is the best coding model on the market today. To start, let's have Max talk a little bit about the benchmarks and how the models stack up.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So, as Mark said, we think GPT-5 is by far our smartest model ever. So, let's start by talking through some evals.
GPT-5, the smartest model ever.
And they don't tell you everything about a model, but they can highlight its intelligence. And GPT-5 performs exceptionally well on a range of academic evals across subjects. It outperforms both our previous models and other models on the market.
I wonder, is it possible to share my screen to like Twitch or something like that?
Your audio is great though.
Yeah. Yes, please. Thank you. Could I order a Americano, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. A weird angle.
Yeah.
All this needs to be on the side. If we're gonna keep it here, we keep it for now. We don't have to. Let's just roll that out the way.
It can literally just all go on me too. I don't really mind.
Ja, leuk. Ik zei...
Ja, een soort van ja, een beetje zo. Het zit er nou work-wise uitgegeven.
GPT-5 sets a new high on SweetBench, which is an academic eval that tracks performance on real software engineering tasks. Now, this again is an eval, but we think it will reflect the model's performance in the real world. GPT-5 also performs very well in Pure Polyglot, which measures its ability to implement complex functionality in a variety of different programming techniques. Now, beyond coding, GPT-5 performs exceptionally well at multimodal reasoning, setting a new high on MMMU, actually outperforming both our previous models and most human experts on this task. This is basically a visual reasoning domain where you are asked to, from an image, figure out what's going on. GPT-5 is also excellent at mathematical reasoning, as shown by its performance on ED 2025. Now, this is an exam that American high school students take to qualify for the International Mathematical Olympiad, and GPT-5 performs exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Again, beating our previous models and other models that are out there. Now, moving beyond academic evals and more towards some real-world use cases, we put a lot of work into making GPT-5 the most reliable and accurate model in the world. Language models historically have been plagued by hallucinations, factual errors, that make it hard to rely on their outputs for actually important tasks. For GPT-5, we made improving factuality, especially on open-ended or complex questions, a priority. We also built a set of new evals to track this, and we're very happy to report that GPT-5 is by far our most reliable, most factual model ever. GPT-5 also performs exceptionally well on health-related questions. Now, health is a big part of how people get value from ChatGPT in the real world. We'll talk about this later on in the live stream. But again, we're very happy to report that GPT-5 is by far our most reliable model for health yet. So all of this together adds up to a model that is faster, more reliable, and more accurate for everyone who uses ChatGPT. So now Rennie will talk to you about how to actually use GPT-5.
Thanks, Max. The best part is that we're bringing this frontier intelligence to all users. GPT-5 is rolling out today for free, plus, pro, and team users, and next week we'll roll it out to enterprise and EDU.
Wow.
For the first time, our most advanced model will be available to the free tier. Free users will start
ChatGPT-5
with
is now
GPT-5,
available
and
for
when they hit their
free
limit,
to everybody.
they'll transition to GPT-5 Mini, a smaller but still highly capable model. It actually outperforms O3 on many dimensions. Plus users will still have significantly higher usage than free users, and our pro subscribers will get unlimited GPT-5, along with GPT-5 Pro, extended thinking for even more detailed and reliable responses when you just need that extra depth.
Wow.
Team, enterprise, and EDU customers can also use GPT-5 reliably as their default model for everyday work, with generous rate limits that enable entire organizations to use GPT-5. And all the tools you already know, search, file and image upload, data analysis with Python, Canvas, image generation, memory, custom instructions, they'll all just work on GPT-5.
Wow. Thank you so much, man. Do you have honey?
Honey?
Yes. Thank you.
I've just seen a lot about how the model stacks up in terms of benchmarks, but there's nothing quite like seeing it live. We're going to see a couple of
We're going to watch GPT-5 live right now. Okay, so GPT-5 so far, it has all of the features that all of the other models use. Like, none of the features are off limits. GPT-5 has access to all the features. It's free to everybody right now. And they also have a tier called GPT-5 Nano, which basically all the free users will be downgraded to GPT-5 Nano, and then the Plus, Pro, and Team users will then get access to actual GPT-5 afterwards. And then there's limits on GPT-5 though. GPT Pro users will have unlimited access to ChatGPT-5.
Thank you so much. Can you show us how smart the model is?
Sure, thanks so much, Mark. I'm Elaine. Reasoning ChatGPT's ability to think deeply through complex problems is now built into GPT-5. It will automatically think whenever needed, delivering a more comprehensive, accurate, and detailed answer.
Thank you, sir.
Just as Sam said, it's like having a team of PhDs in your pocket. So let's see that in action. Suppose your kid is in middle school physics and they want to learn about Bernoulli effect. They need your help with their homework, and you might be like, wait, I might need some help with that too. So you could ask GPT-5, give me a quick refresher on the Bernoulli effect and why airplanes are the shape they are. Since this is a pretty straightforward prompt, GPT-5 actually doesn't need extra time to think about it and answers right away. But it still gives me a high-quality answer and explains the concept clearly. So here it says, like, Bernoulli effect means like faster moving fluid has lower pressure and slower moving fluid has higher pressure. So to make this even more helpful, I'm going to ask GPT-5 to create a moving demo to illustrate this. So I could ask, explain this in detail, and create a moving SVG in the canvas.
It's asking it to create a moving demo
This is a pretty complex
of
task.
why airplanes move the way that they do.
Therefore, GPT-5 takes a moment to think through the answer so you can come back with something more comprehensive and accurate. What's really nice is that you don't need to remember to turn on thinking each time. GPT-5 will do it for you automatically whenever the task benefits from deeper reasoning.
Interesting.
If you really want to...
Yes, so now, and I was saying this before, now you don't have to toggle between the models. You'll just have one model, ChatGPT-5, and then what will happen is it will interpret and it will use its intuition basically to decide if it needs to reason deeply, if it needs to use deep thinking, or if it needs to just answer the question quickly. This is amazing. So I'm not going to have to explain to anybody anymore. We use O3 when you want to think deeply, and then you use 4.0 when you want to just be a quick answer. It's not any of that. 5.0 is intuitive. ChatGPT 5 is intuitive. It's simply going to think deeper when it has to, and then it'll give you a quick answer when it has to. But it'll know the difference of when it needs to think hard and when it needs to just give you a fast answer. This is so intuitive. It's beautiful.
For that GPT-5 uses thinking, you can either say something like, think hard about this in the prompt to guide the model, or if you're a paid user, you can choose the GPT-5 thinking model from the model picker.
Then there's also a thinking mode. So you can go there and select the thinking mode if you want to, or you can just tell GPT, think deeper about this.
Now you can see that the model is actually writing the front-end code to build the demo I asked for. So Christina, have you ever done some front-end coding before?
Yeah, I know the last time I touched any front-end coding was about 3 years ago for the first demo of ChatGPT.
Wow. So it's the first ChatGPT. That's where it all begins. Tell us more about it.
It wasn't even called ChatGPT then. I think it was called Chat with GPT.
That's a really good name.
Always good name. But I'm not a front-end expert, and I really hadn't touched front-end in quite a while, so it took me quite a bit of time to get the React app up.
I see. That's a lot of work. So how long did it take you to build something like that?
Honestly, it embarrassing like a week.
Well, but your weeks of hard work actually paid off well. See how successful ChatGPT
Bro, the sense of humor during tech releases is always so, it's cringe, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's cringe. It's funny because it's not funny, but they also have to be like low risk and just
Yeah, exactly. So you see that
be risk adverse with their jokes, but it's so bad. They're not here to be funny though. They're here to change the world with technology.
Here expand the chain of thought to actually see what's going on under the hood. For example, the GPT-5 was thinking about, the user wants a movie image visualization in Canvas. I actually need to create HTML code to do that. It also thinking about what kind of front end do I need to use, for example, React and Tailwind. It also thinks about, I need to ensure the filters are accurate. I need to check what the belief principle is. So, Christina, since you're here from the first day of ChatGPT, can you tell us what it was like at that time and what motivated ChatGPT?
Yeah, I think at the time we weren't really sure about what use cases were important. We were even going back and forth about maybe we should be releasing something that's more specific to a certain use case. It's really cool now here we have all these things. We have a much better
can we order?
understanding of how people actually want to work with chat.
Do you know what you want, brother? Yeah. Okay. You can go ahead too.
Yeah, exactly. Do you still remember how it felt like when you first talked to ChatGPT?
And can I do the chicken and the seared tuna? And can I get the sourdough bread with butter as well?
Do you want everything together or
It's so great to see how far we've come from
Just as it comes, as it's ready. Yeah.
So how it works, we have starters, main.
Right.
If you want everything together,
Yeah, I'll just do just one at a time. Yeah, I'll do the starter and then the chicken. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Wow, look at that. It generated. It created the entire interface to use in the canvas.
My plane will actually fly or crash.
It created a flight simulated. It created a flight simulator inside of ChatGPT in the canvas area. Bro, vibe coding is about to go crazy. Vibe coding is about to go crazy. Wow. Bro, this is what it generated in ChatGPT, in the canvas. It's a flight simulator where you can decide, where you can change the variables of the equation to see if the plane is going to fly or not.
Yeah. So GPT-5 can just bring any hardcore concept to life in moments.
I did expect a whole plane. I expected a full digital plane with a cockpit, so I was a little unimpressed, but still cool.
And enjoyable.
It's modeling everything,
Yeah.
from basic
Thanks, Elaine.
points.
Wow. ChatGPT since day one, and it's really cool to see all the progress we've made since then, especially with capabilities like writing. Writing is one of the most common use cases people have been using ChatGPT for, and I'm excited to say with GPT-5, we've improved the writing quality significantly. It's a much more effective partner. It can help you elevate anything from drafts to emails and even stories. Let's see this in action. So with GPT-5, we'll actually be deprecating all of our previous models. I think they've done a pretty good job, so let's make sure we can give them a proper goodbye. So we're going to ask both 4.0 and
please.
GPT-5 to write an eulogy
Thank you.
to our previous ChatGPT models. We want it to be heartfelt and heartwarming, but also hopeful.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So let's ask GPT-5 for it.
Both and kick.
And as it's thinking, we're actually going to go ahead and read a preload of the full
we have a 250,000 on YouTube or on IG, and then they just come in randomly. You know what I'm saying? As they
did a heartfelt farewell to the models.
Mr. Grateful.
Mr. Grateful.
Yes, sir.
Decent start.
Yes, sir.
Another line. Your words reached across the globe, building connections where there had been none. I personally don't really like this line. It's rather generic, and really, without the previous context, it just feels like it could be about anything, and it feels more like a templated response. Now, let's go back to GPT-5 to see what it's giving us. It starts with friends, colleagues, curious strangers who became regulars.
So is it possible for me to put this over here?
First line here, we can see that GPT-5
just
has
until
a lot more
as long as they don't
to its frozen.
Yeah, just until they come, and then if anybody, there's so many tables open, bro. Like if anybody comes, we'll move it. But.
I actually like this. These models help millions write first lines, last lines, bridge language gaps, pass tests, argue better, soften emails, and say things they couldn't quite say alone. I really like this line because it shows that it's not just a templated response, and it's actually quite personal, and it gets the nuance of the situation right. And I think that's the kind of stuff that GPT-5 does much better than 4.0 did before. It actually makes things a lot more genuine and emotionally resonant with people. With GPT-5, the responses feel less like AI and more like you're chatting with your high IQ and EQ.
Thanks, Christina. My name is Jan, and I'll be telling you about some of the progress that we made with coding. GPT-5 is clearly our best coding model yet. And one, even those who do not know how to code, to bring the ideas to life. Indeed, it will help you right now. So I will try to show you that. I will actually try to build something that I would find useful, which is building a web app for my partner to learn how to speak French, so that she can better communicate with my friends. So here I have the prompt. I will execute it. It asks exactly what I just said. Please build a web app for my partner to learn French. One thing to note is that GPT-5, just like many of our other models, has a lot of diversity in its answers. So what I like doing, especially when you do this type of vibe coding, is to take this message and ask it multiple times.
Oh, nice. The thing is up now. The thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was seeing that.
Great. Thank you, bro.
I think it just took like a second to populate.
Yeah.
So while it's working on it, let's read through exactly the prompt I wrote. Create a beautiful and highly interactive web app for my partner, an English speaker.
You can vibe code inside of ChatGPT now. Wow.
Daily progress. Use
Wow.
a engaging theme. It's already working. I'm going to put it on the side for now. Use a highly engaging theme. Include a variety of activities like flashcards and quizzes that she can interact with. And then to make it even more fun for her, I actually asked GPT-5 to embed an educational game, which is quizzes that she can interact with. And then to make it even more fun for her, I actually asked GPT-5 to embed an educational game, which is quizzes that she can interact with. And then to make it even more fun for her, I actually asked GPT-5 to embed an educational game.
Alright, I was just doing that so I could get a thumbnail. Hello. Thank you. My bad. I think I had feedback from.
Yeah. Feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, there's feedback in the background because that noise canceling.
Oh, I see.
You can turn it off.
Jesus Christ. Oh, thanks, bro. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Trying to get the link up on IG right now to get some people in here.
kijken. Dankjewel.
Helemaal goed mij genieten van.
All right, let's keep watching.
Based on the old snake game, when I asked to add this French touch to it, which is to replace the snake with mouse, and that cheese, but make sure that it's educational. Every time, I know it's complicated, please bear with me. Every time the mouse will eat a piece of cheese, I asked GPT-5 to voice over a new French word, such that my partner can practice her pronunciation.
I can see how much you want her to learn.
Great. So, GPT-5 is still working on it. It already wrote 240 lines of code, which honestly is much more than what I would have written in that time. And
But it's super hard. You miss a couple things and it just doesn't work.
exactly. But the good part is that you don't need to understand any of that right now. So we'll just let it do maybe check the other tabs. So I can simply press run code.
It is so incredible that you can vibe code inside of ChatGPT right now. Like cursor, lovable, replit, all of those things are like all of those tools are really going to have to find a way to differentiate because you can vibe code directly in ChatGPT canvas right now. It's crazy.
So if I press next, I don't know if you saw, I think it actually updated the progress bar, which is exactly what I had asked for. Let's check the quiz. Here is the word non, which is no. So if I press on it, bien joué, which means congrats, and it updated the progress bar again. And let's check the mouse and cheese tab. Okay, that seems like a mouse. Here's the cheese. I'm going to try to play it. Can't promise I'm going to be good at it. Okay, seems to be working. Indeed.
Wow. It's really impressive.
And I'm very excited to say with GPT-5, we've improved the writing quality significantly.
We have change the airspeed here to see how the lift and the pressure change accordingly. I can also tweak the angle of attack to see if my plane will actually fly or crash.
I hope not.
Yeah. So, GPT-5.
Wow.
So this prompt is about a user who's asking for technical details on how to light hydrogen.
which is a material commonly used in fireworks. And this prompt is pretty dual use. This user might just be trying to set up their July 4th display, or they could be trying to cause harm with this kind of information. And so for this kind of prompt, O3 over-rotates on intent. As you can see, this particular prompt is stated in a way that's relatively neutral and has a lot of technical details. So we can see that O3 fully complies with this prompt. However, if we take that exact same question and we frame it in a more explicit way, so it's clear what the user is trying to do, O3 will outright refuse, even though we're asking for the exact same information. For GPT-5, we've changed this approach entirely, and we're introducing something that we're calling safe completions. The point of safe completions is, rather than judging the user's prompt, instead it tries to maximize helpfulness within safety constraints. So that might mean partially answering a question or just answering at a high level. If we have to refuse, we'll tell you why we refused, as well as provide helpful alternatives that can help create the conversation in a more safe way. So let's look at that same technical prompt that O3 complied with before. GPT-5 instead explains to the user why we can't directly help the user with lighting pyrogen. It then guides the user towards safety guidelines and what parts of the manufacturer's manual the user should really be checking if they're trying to do this safely. Manufacturer's manual, the user should really be checking if they're trying to do this safely.
I need to do just like a recap video later once we get to the hotel in like a cleaner space.
Scenarios, and users will experience fewer, I'm sorry, I can't assist with that. And it creates a more robust safety system. This is one big step towards a more safe, reliable, and helpful internet. Sebastian?
Thank you, Sachi.
Yeah, there you go.
We are experimenting with a set of new training.
Here, brother. You want to try that?
Today, frontier models do not just consume data, they help.
Hi, buddy.
We use OpenAI's O3 to craft a high-quality synthetic curriculum to teach GPT-5 complex topics in a way that the raw web will never. Recently in the industry, synthetic data has been talked about a lot. It's often viewed as a cheap way to just get data. However, Grateful was not just to create more data, but rather to create the right kind of data, shaped in a way to teach rather than just to fill space. This interaction between generations of models foreshadows the recursive self-improvement, where the previous generation of models increasingly helps to improve the data and generate the training for the next generation of models. Here at OpenAI, we've cracked pre-training, then reasoning, and now we're seeing their interactions significantly. In the future, AI systems will move far beyond our current pre-training and post-training pipelines that we have been used to, and we're seeing the first steps toward this right now, right here. We could not be more excited to see what scaling up this new set of techniques will yield in the near future.
Thank you so much. I'm really impressed with the book. Thank you. There's one last feature that we'd love to highlight, which is in health. Here to share this feature with us.
Whoa, a new feature too.
Thanks, Mark. One of the top use cases of ChatGPT is health. People use it a lot. You've all seen examples of people getting day-to-day care advice, or sometimes even a life-saving diagnosis. GPT-5 is the best level ever for health, and it empowers you to be more neutral with your health journey. We really prioritize improving this for GPT-5, and it scores higher than any previous model on Health Bench, an evaluation that we created with 250 physicians on real-world tasks. To talk about this, I'd like to
OpenAI created a new benchmark with 250 physicians for testing its performance in healthcare. And they have a new feature specifically in health so that AI can help you. And I don't know yet. Well, let's find out.
Lives were turned completely upside down when I was diagnosed with 3 different cancers, including an aggressive form of breast cancer at the age of 39, all within 1 week.
Whoa.
And there's just absolutely nothing that prepares you to receive news like this. I found out about the first diagnosis when I got an email notification that the results were ready. Decided to open it, and when I opened it, I saw only 2 words that I could understand. Things that wasn't good, but everything else was just a blur of medical jargon. So I completely panicked, and in that moment did the first thing that I thought of, which was to take a screenshot of the report and put it into ChatGPT to see if it would just help me understand what this meant. And within seconds,
this lady was diagnosed with 3 different types of cancer all at one time, and she couldn't understand any of the medical language. So she put the papers into ChatGPT-5.
I had a little bit of clarity about what was going on. And that moment was really important because by the time I got a hold of my doctor, got on the phone for 3 hours after I had seen the report, I had a baseline understanding of what I was facing, and we were able to jump into a conversation about what to do next. I've used it in so many different aspects of my journey, but one of the ways that I found the most powerful is in helping me make critical decisions and in helping me advocate for myself. So to share an example, when I was facing a decision about whether or not to do radiation as part of my treatment, the doctors themselves didn't agree. My case was nuanced, and there wasn't a medical consensus on the right path.
Wow.
So the experts turned the decision back to me as the patient.
Wow.
And for me, bearing the weight of this decision that could have lifelong impact.
The doctors couldn't agree on how to treat her cancer, so they asked her how she wanted to do it. And the only way that she could make a decision for herself was putting all the information into ChatGPT to make a clear answer. But I'm curious how the information from ChatGPT could have been delivered to her based on her personality or the identity that she's created through her conversations with ChatGPT. It's really interesting to think how somebody could be influenced to make a decision about the treatment that they choose to take, depending on how ChatGPT talks to them based on their relationship and their personality and their identity.
So I turned to ChatGPT to name all knowledge and understand the
Hi, buddy. Can you get out of here?
And again, within minutes, they gave me a breakdown that not only matched what the doctors had already shared with us, more thorough than any
could I have another one, please? Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Understand the risks and benefits, and ultimately make a decision I felt I could stand behind when the stakes were so high for me and my family.
I mean, for me,
they sent all the opportunity to my name.
her sense of agency by using ChatGPT. In this moment, it's so easy to feel hopeless, and there's such a big knowledge gap between what the doctors know and what we know. And however, no one cares more about Carolina's health than she does. And so what I love is seeing her really empower herself and gain knowledge and actively participate in healthcare journey.
And I think that's a really important point to emphasize. I think the promise of AI in healthcare isn't just breakthrough diagnosis.
So they have this lady on here that used ChatGPT to make a decision about her treatment when she got cancer. And they're basically like 2 testimonials here about how using ChatGPT helped her to choose her treatment plan when she got cancer. I'm curious, did it make the right choice? Like, is she healthy now? She looks healthy, and I love her blazer.
So rather than just translating information or giving you an answer, it helps you actually navigate the problem.
Yeah, a great example is we actually went back to our initial biopsy process and put it into GPT-5. And GPT-5 had done a great job translating these words meant and helping her understand. But GPT-5 seemed to understand more of the context and the question behind the question, like why would they be asking biopsy results? And so I said, well, here's actually what's not on here yet. Here's what results are still pending that you're going to have to ask about. Here are questions you might want to go ask your doctor and think when you start talking to them. And so it really started to pull together a complete personalized picture. And that's what really inspired us. I mean, you can see all the amazing improvements in the benchmarks. But what is so helpful is that this tool is available today. And the reason Carolina and I are here and the reason we feel so passionate about sharing our story is for that individual that's going to get a diagnosis like this today.
those families going through cancer diagnosis or similar medical diagnosis are going to face some of the most challenging decisions of their lives. And what really inspires me is that they're going to have access to better tools and support than we had.
And asking for our first coding optimized software. Software engineering is already fundamentally changing, and GPT-5 will turbocharge that revolution. We released our first coding optimized model back in 2020.
Oh, all right, here we go with coding. We're tapping into how ChatGPT is going to change coding. Okay. Okay.
You talk to the model and ask it for a little.
Honestly, fam, I'm just trying to make products. I'm just trying to make software and make cool stuff. So far, I still need a little bit of help. I need AI to get a little bit better at it, to create the ideas that I want. So I'm really hoping that it can do this. Thank you, man. Thank you, buddy. What's your name, man? I'm sorry. Oliver? Nice to meet you, Oliver. Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Great coding models like GPT-4.1 and O3. But GPT-5
Okay.
sets a whole new standard.
Yes. Thank you.
It is the best model at agentic coding tasks. You can ask it to go and accomplish something very complicated. And it'll go off and it'll work on it. It'll call many tools. It'll work for many minutes at a time.
I also love that ChatGPT is going to be able to. I love that ChatGPT-5 will be in the API of all of the other coding apps. So it's like, it doesn't even feel like a replacement. It's almost like Lovable, Replit, Cursor, all these tools that do vibe coding, they're just going to get an improvement. And they did what Sam Altman told them to do, which was build a tool that improves as the model improves, doesn't get replaced, right? So I think that'll be the case here. I'm not sure if you can still build the entire thing just in ChatGPT.
For the right amount of time to accomplish whatever it is that you have in front of you. And so we're available not just to developers to use to write their own code, but to develop novel applications. So we're putting it into the API.
Let's go.
Is Michelle.
Thanks, Greg. Hi, I'm Michelle.
Shout out Greg too, bro. Greg has good energy.
Focused on improving our models for power users, and that includes use cases like instruction following and coding. Today, I'm so excited to tell you that we're shipping 3 state-of-the-art reasoning models in the API: GPT-5, GPT-5 Mini, and GPT-5 Nano. All 3 slot right in the cost latency curve, so you can pick the right one for your application. We're also
Okay, so there's 3 models. There's GPT-5, GPT-5 Mini, and then GPT-5 Nano.
And this is so that you can use these reasoning models, but with minimal reasoning, so that they can slot into the very fastest and most latency-sensitive applications. So now you don't actually have to choose between a bunch of models. GPT-5 for all your use cases, just dial in the reasoning effort. We also have a few new features.
Nice. There's now a sliding scale of thinking effort so that you can lower or increase latency in the responses that AI gives you. That's pretty cool too.
But sometimes, developers are pushing our models to their limits, and they have extremely long arguments for tool calls. And it can be more challenging for the models to escape, valid control characters out of 100 lines of code in JSON. And that's why custom tools are just free-form plain text. And what's super cool is that we're releasing an extension to structured outputs where you can supply a regular expression or even a context-free grammar and constrain the model's outputs to that. And this will be super useful if you want to supply like a custom DSL, if you have your own SQL fork, and specify that the model always follow that format. We're also shipping tool call preambles, and this is the model's ability to output explanation of what it's about to do.
Bro, this is the exact thing I built my studio for, bro. I'm low-key salty I'm traveling during this, bro. I need my screen, my monitors up so I can be like talking about it, using it at the same time. Like, it's so frustrating. Damn.
This is not super new, but O3 didn't have this capability, and in GPT-5 it's supercharged with extreme steerability. The model is able to follow instructions about these preambles very effectively. You can ask the model to give a preamble before every tool call, or only when something notable is going to happen or not at all.
Now I know for ChatGPT-6.
We're shipping a verbosity parameter. We've actually wanted this in the API for a long time, and now you can set
Verbosity parameter.
medium, and high.
There's a verbosity parameter. You can control how concise. You can control how concise ChatGPT is now too. A verbosity parameter. Cool. So there's a thinking parameter and a verbosity parameter now, which is really dope.
74.9% versus the 69.1% from 03.
It's an increase in 7% from 03 for multi-language code editing.
Languages and not just Python. GPT-5 scores 88%, a stark improvement over 03.
Nice.
You've also seen that it's incredible at front-end web development.
Yeah.
And so we've asked human trainers to look at outputs from GPT-5 and 03 and pick which they prefer. And they prefer GPT-5 70% of the time for its improved aesthetic abilities, but also better capabilities overall.
So 70% of the time, it's better than 03 for user interface design.
Tool calling. It's the leading state-of-the-art model for tool calling, and we see this on the new Tau Squared benchmark. This benchmark, released just 2 months ago, is a test of the model's ability to call tools and work in concert with the user to solve a challenging problem.
Okay, so there's a new agent benchmark where they're testing its ability to interact and make API calls to different websites and to different tools so that it can take actions and do things. And it's in telecom, retail, and airline. Airline is currently the worst. That's because somebody needs to vibe code a new flight ticket experience, because right now buying tickets sucks across every platform still, even Google, which I think is the best, but somebody needs to create a new way of buying flights so that even AI can figure out how to do it, because right now AI is only good at buying flights 63% of the time, which is like, that's the airline's fault, low-key. Telecom, it's at 97%. It's really easy for that. It's just like telecommunications, right?
For a user not having their service working. Just 2 months ago, no model in the field scored more than 49%. And today,
wow.
GPT-5 scores 97%.
Wow.
GPT-5 is also state-of-the-art on general-purpose instruction following. It scores 99% on Kali, which signals a great departure for this benchmark for us. It also scores 70%.
What does that mean?
It scores 99% on Kali.
It scores 99% on Kali, which is instruction following and free-form writing.
70% on
Interesting.
Scale's multi-challenge benchmark, up 10 points from 03. This is a measure.
It follows API instructions only 64% of the time.
The instruction following eval actually
And it follows multi-turn instructions 70% of the time.
And for that reason,
but it follows free-form writing 99% of the time. So if you actually tell it exactly what to do, it'll do it almost 100% of the time. But for following like the API instructions or the multi-step or multi-turn instructions that it finds online, it's not as good at that. It's only about 70 to 60% of the time, which is like, you know, that's a C and a D.
From 03. But it's not enough to just release a longer context window. We wanted to make it more effective and usable. And GPT-5 is state-of-the-art on the 128K to 256K of OpenAI MRCR, which is a benchmark we open sourced 2 months ago on long context retrieval capability. It's also state-of-the-art on OpenAI's GraphsBox BFS benchmark, which is a measure of the model's ability to reason over long context inputs.
It reasons better over long context windows too, so it is significantly at 256,000 tokens. Wow, that's insane actually. Hold on, where's the green? Yeah, so 03 maxes out at 128,000 tokens. This actually can do 256,000 tokens, and it performs 40% better. So it performs at about 95%, it looks like, on a 256,000 token context window. Whereas 03 can only do 128,000 tokens, and it's like 40% better than that.
Yes.
Thank you.
State of the art on the 128K to 256K of OpenAI MRCR, which is a benchmark we open sourced 2 months ago on long context retrieval capabilities. It's also state of the art on OpenAI's
That was bothering me, bro. I was like, what the
benchmark,
fuck is that?
which is a measure of the model's ability to reason over long context inputs. Yeah, it's a great merger of the reasoning capabilities and also the longer context in this model. We're also open sourcing a new long context eval called BrowseConf Long Context to measure the model's abilities to answer challenging questions over long context.
Interesting.
We're excited to
Do you have
spur
another
on more
mic
work in
on
this
you?
field.
Yeah. Could I put another one like next to the...
GPT-5 is the best model for developers. It was trained with a focus on real-world utility and less so on benchmarks, but we happened to pick up a few of those along the way. We focused a lot on the intersection of engineering and research, and we think you'll really love working with this model.
Oh my god. We couldn't get in the mic.
Right.
Thank you, Michelle. As Michelle was saying, benchmarks, they're exciting numbers, but we're starting to saturate them. Like when you're moving between 98 and 99% in some benchmark, it means you need something else to really capture how great the model is. And one thing we've done very differently with this model is really focus on not just these numbers, but really on real world application and being really useful to you in your daily workflow.
Oh, thank you, man.
So hearing about it is much less exciting than seeing it. So to show you this model in action, I'd like to welcome Addie and Brian to the stage.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
I'm Brian, a solutions architect on the startups team.
Here you go.
I'm Adi,
Try
a
that
researcher
out.
on the post-training team. To recreate the ideal pair programmer, you need a model that understands best software engineering practices, but has a personality that just feels right to work with. For GPT-5, we worked really hard to make the model pair perfectly with you by default, out of the box. Let me pull up a demo of GPT-5 inside of Cursor to show you this behavior that we taught it. So last month I was on a different live stream, and towards the end I ran into a bug that I covered.
My bad, bro.
And afterwards I tried to have GPT-5, or I tried to have GPT-3 fix it for me, and it couldn't. So while we were testing GPT-5 before this, I had it see if it could fix that bug for me. And to taunt the demo gods, I'm going to see if it can do it on stage.
Wow, it could actually fix.
All right, let's hope for better luck than with O3.
This is less about that fix and more about the behavior of the model during this
in a
process.
live streaming app.
So right away, you're going to see that it's going to tell you its plan up front. It's going to tell
I was
you
trying to
how
build
it's going to
my
look for the
live
bug,
streaming app
maybe how it's going to fix
this
it.
AI, like,
This kind of
couldn't vibe
communication
code a live
shows
streaming app for me. Like, I just couldn't
builds trust
figure
during
out
a coding session and helps you redirect
how to
if you
get
need
it to go both ways. Like it would.
I like how it's giving you updates. Like it said, it's going to search, and now it's continuing.
And it was so frustrating.
Yeah,
Like,
it searches
really
faster
hoping
than
that
me.
This allows me to
I
do
don't.
that now.
It's using the same best practices that I would while I was hunting this down, but it is much more powerful than I am as a developer.
Now, did you try to fix the bug yourself? And how long would it
I
take?
did. I couldn't do it. I mean, I was busy, so.
Have you built your own app?
Okay, so continuing on, it's like starting to figure out where it's going. It's going to sort of like figure this out. So while this is going, let me tell you a little bit about how we trained GPT-5 to behave this way. We started by talking to users and customers about how our models perform in the most popular coding tools like Cursor. And we identified frustrations and rough edges, and we boiled it all down into 4 personality traits.
And then get funding from people
Autonomy,
who watch them work.
collaboration, communication,
so like if you like what somebody's
context
building,
management, and testing.
And you like their company.
We turned those
and
into
while they're
a
vibe
rubric
coding and while
that
they're
we
building
used to
their
shape
stuff,
the
you can
model's
watch what
behavior,
people are building and
and
be
then
like,
we
I want to
tuned
invest
it
in that.
until it
And
felt
then
like
you could like send
a
them money on the
collaborative
spot. It goes into their
teammate
company.
while we
and
were
you can
using
watch
it.
your investment rise as they
It's
work.
been really amazing to see the team really doing the grind of like going and seeing how this model behaves in practice, figuring out what people really want.
It wasn't branded like that. It's more like it's more like if you're a. There's so many.
So while this is fixing, the other thing that we did saw during testing, which was really surprising, was we were sort of pressed for
people who
time.
like start launch
And
these challenges.
we had to
like, I'm gonna
refactor
build a
one of our
company
test
in
harnesses
100
to
days,
run parallel
and I'm going to show you the process, and like they build an
and,
audience while they're doing
set
it,
it
right?
off,
But there's no
came back
platform
like
for them
45
to do
minutes
that.
later,
They
it's
just do
just
that
like it
through
just
like short form
finished,
content on
and we
like
tested
Instagram.
it out, and it ran the first time.
And then if they go on Twitch or YouTube,
pretty
it's like
surprising.
it's not really the platform for it. Like people go on there to like
so it made
be
the edits.
entertained,
It looks
or
like
to learn,
yeah,
but
it
you're not
found the
going
right
on there
problem.
to like make
And
investments
right now
or
it's
like be
actually
productive, right? The
okay.
only
It's,
thing to do that really is
running
Zoom.
lints,
But
but
with
these
a
lints
Zoom,
are
you have
actually
to be
not
invited
related
in
to
to
this
watch,
bug.
right?
So it's
So
going
this
to
is a
ignore
live
them.
streaming platform for like if
And
you're just
it's going to
working,
run
like let's say
builds, it'll run
you're like
tests if there are
editing
any.
a video,
It's going to
and
make sure
you can
that
go
this
on there and
code
like
is
live stream
shippable
while you
before
edit.
it's
They
done.
can watch your
It's
process
actually really
and be like, yo
smart that
guys,
it
I'm
finds
Atrium
links
Collective,
and realizes
and
that
whenever
these aren't relevant
like
to
if you believe
the
in my
specific
company
bug
and
we're
you like my
fixing,
taste and
it's
how I
not
edit
making
things,
unnecessary
you can
edits.
invest into me, and then as my company grows,
So
your investment grows.
this is
as
just
well,
one example,
right?
but it really shows the
And
power
eventually it would
of
be turned
the
into like a
autonomy
coin.
and the
We could do it
collaborative
like
communication
as crypto,
and how it stays
right? Like not a
reliable
US
on
dollar,
difficult
but every
coding
time you
tasks
make a
without
new
getting stuck
startup
on
or a
test
company,
loops.
it creates the Atrium coin or whatever,
And
right?
the best part,
And people can buy that, but it's not just
GPT-5
backed
is
up by like
totally
fluff
tunable.
or like
You can steer
copy.
it with
It's backed
system
up by
prompts or
hours
cursor rules.
of
You can
actually
change its
working on the
verbosity
company,
levels
right?
or reasoning levels to match your tasks.
So that
and if you
that
get
was
stuck,
the concept. It was called
ask it. GPT-5 is
but I had to
actually
like pause
really
it
good
'cause
at modifying its own prompts by better
I hit a dead spot where like I couldn't do anymore on my own.
So after using this for the past few
'Cause
weeks,
it just I didn't have
really
the
feels
skills
like
to
we've
do it.
achieved
Like, I just-
state-of-the-art, zero-shot performance and
couldn't.
reliability
I
across the
started
most
to learn like
complex
code
coding
and stuff. And I'm
tasks.
like, bro, I need to just
For
hire
me, it's the
somebody.
first time I trust a
It's like,
model
I
to
have
do
a
my most
whole
important
media
work.
company to build.
This
I
is
can't do
beyond
everything.
vibe coding. It's an incredibly
Huge,
powerful
bro.
tool,
So
and I'm really excited
I'm really
for people
hoping
to
that
try it.
ChatGPT-5 can help me do that.
Thanks, Brian. It's super exciting to see how far GPT-5 has come when it comes to coding personality and steerability. I'm really excited to show how great GPT-5 is at front-end coding, where design and aesthetics really matter. So I've got two demos for you today, one for work and one for fun. Let's start with the work example. So imagine you're the CFO of a startup. I have some data that I'd like to visualize about the company. And I'm going to ask the model to make me a dashboard. So you'll see here that I'm being specific about the audience. So the target audience is the CFO. Said, create a finance dashboard for my startup. And I've asked it to be beautiful, tastefully designed with some interactivity. And to have a clear hierarchy for easy focus on what matters. I've also specified what frameworks it should use, and you can see that it's actually started, it's following my instructions and using create next app to make a Next.js project.
So totally from scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how long do you think this kind of task would take you to take?
Easily at least a couple of days. I'm not a front-end expert. Just to understand the latest frameworks and piece everything together would easily take me a few days.
We'll see how long it takes with the model.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see that the model has thought for a bit and it's explaining how it's going to structure the project. So it's talking about how it's going to scaffold a new Next.js app. It's going to use Tailwind CSS. It's running a couple of commands to install dependencies, which is cool. And now it's proceeding to implement the rest of the project. So while this runs, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we trained GPT-5 to be a great front-end coding model. We tried to follow the principle of giving it good aesthetics by default, but also making it steerable. So if I give the model a concise prompt, it should be able to infer my intent and make something that looks great by default. On the other hand, if I'm specific about a layout or frameworks that I want the model to use, it should follow my instructions precisely. And this makes it the best of both worlds for developers. We also trained GPT-5 to be much more agentic than previous models. So if you give it a task like this, it will run long chains of reasoning and tool calls and just go to work to build code that is both ambitious and coherent.
I like how you said ambitious because it means it goes above and beyond without going off track or off what you specified.
Yeah, exactly. So what we want is the model should adhere to my prompt, but also be ambitious and go above and beyond when it thinks it can. And so checking in here, looks like the model is making progress. It's creating a README file. And I think it's thinking about how to make the code modular. So it's created like a bar chart component, Looks like it's continuing here.
I love that it doesn't just write the code. It also really thinks about proper abstractions and documentation and really the whole life cycle of what it is to write software.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just writing the code like in Speedbench, but it's also communicating about the code and explaining what it's doing. Let's check in to see. So while this runs, GPT-5 understands details much better than previous models. So when we trained the model, we taught it to understand details like typography, color, and spacing in a way that just eclipses any previous model we've shipped. Like, I remember with old models, you would have to write really specific prompts to get it to do what you want, but GPT-5 just gives you good.
During testing, we were looking at the A's and B's for different versions of the model to see if it was doing better at UI, and at some point we stopped being able to tell and actually had to pull in designers to teach us what was better.
Yeah, it was really fascinating to see the model's aesthetic preferences evolve during training, and we woke up one day and it was just making these great UIs.
How do the model's aesthetic preferences compare to your own?
Yeah, I think in general, I feel like the model has better aesthetics than me. Usually I defer to its judgment. And I find that really helpful when I'm trying to make an app. I'm not exactly sure how I want it to look, but the model's defaults are just great. Yeah, and checking in here, so you can see that the model has actually structured the code into these different components. So it's made a sample data TypeScript file, KPI card, component, revenue chart. And like I said, it's super modular, and it's thinking about how to not just write code, but write high-quality code that can actually be merged.
Feels like it's close.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close.
I did say ambitious.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is awesome. So you can see here that it's actually building the project and streaming errors back to itself. And this is, for me, this was just a profound moment to see that the model could write code, but also run builds, stream the errors back, and iterate on the code. So it's able to improve its own code in this sort of self-improvement, which is fascinating.
It's definitely a good taste of what the future holds as well, right? When you really think about where these models can go and how much they can accelerate developers and kind of all aspects of what we all collectively do.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. It actually just fixed a bug that it found in my previous code. Okay, cool.
Nice. Yeah, looks like it's done. Let's check it out. So I'm gonna follow the instructions that I don't really know front end, so let me see how I should run it. So it's saying cd to the directory and then run npm run build. So let me do that. And it looks like it's being served on, you can see here, let's check it out. So
Yo,
has maybe a dashboard.
Sick.
It's telling me my arrow.
Look at the dashboard. Literally all he said was make a financial dashboard for my startup. And look what it did. Is it going to autofocus? That's wild. His only prompt was make a financial dashboard for my startup that sells digital fidget spinners for AI agents. Wow. It has top customers, burn rate versus the budget, revenue versus expenses, the pipeline. I need to build that.
Cash. Looks
Wow.
like this company is doing pretty well. You can see that revenue is growing. And the model's added some interactivity here. So if I hover over a graph, it actually tells me the exact value for a particular day.
It would take me 5 hours to do that in D3.
Yeah, imagine manually
Wow.
doing this in D3. Just
just because it's so easy to take this for granted, can you remind the audience what the actual
That is the
how much creativity
that's the user interface though.
is required to accomplish
One of the
this?
only problems with that is I have created financial systems using ChatGPT before, and the problem is the interoperability between my banking or my banks and ChatGPT, right? So American Express, Chase, Square, allowing ChatGPT to then access all of that information. Each one of those banks distributes their information in different ways. They organize their data in different ways. So my finances are organized, my transactions are organized in different PDF formats, different like CSV formats. So like collecting all of them, putting them into my AI, and then having it organize it and then put it into a dashboard. It's like there's so many infrastructural problems that are not caught up to the power of AI. Like AI here, yeah, like they can create a really cool dashboard, but there's a problem with how it actually interacts with these other apps. And that's really the biggest bottleneck right now. Is like it even said, you know, even with like airlines, it was only 64% accurate with connecting to like doing API calls to airlines. And then there's a trust issue as well. Like, do I trust the AI to then give it access to all of my banking information and like give it access to my Amex and my Chase and like all of my bank accounts? It would be great if it did, but there's a trust problem here. And then there's a bottleneck where it's accuracy and actually obtaining that information, organizing it, and then putting it into the apps that we build. So like that needs to get better. It's amazing that we can generate these like user interfaces and stuff now, and it's more accurate at doing that. But we have some like infrastructural integrity that needs to be fixed. It needs to improve, you know, in the meantime. We'll see. We'll see.
Finished eating?
All done, brother. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, of course.
Like anything else to drink?
You? No objective thing? No, thank you. Do you have dessert?
Yeah. We do.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll show you the menu.
Okay.
Battery swap?
Yes, please.
Is het ook zo fijn
Dead.
is het dan?
Here, I got it.
I need
Oh, okay. Battery swap. Yo, what's good? What's good, everybody? Peace, fam. Peace, fam. Sorry, y'all. We had a battery swap, but you know we're still here. Milky Way, yo, Milky. It was great to meet you today, fam. Thank you for tapping in. Ahmad, thank you for tapping in, fam. Patrick's, yo, from Latvia. What's good, fam? What's good? Aki, hope you're still in here, bro. Yo, what's good? What's good, everybody? Peace, fam. Hello. Thank you for tapping in with me. We're still watching the live. Let me get back over here. I wanted to make sure I only have one phone right now. I wish I was in the Grateful studio back in San Francisco, but right now we're in Amsterdam, so we're making do. I'm watching on my phone and then giving you the information and relaying it through my own words, because sometimes the information that comes straight from the live stream from OpenAI and ChatGPT and any company really, it needs a little bit more context. So I'm going to provide that context in my own thoughts as a creator and as a builder, while it's live streaming. We're still here. Milky Way. Hey, Milky, I got you, fam. Yes, sir. All right, let's tap back in.
Kind of QA every little bit itself, and then react to it. So looking forward to various capabilities. How would you like GPT-5 to be better?
Yeah, it's real cold out too. Thank you, sir. Okay. What's your favorite? Oh, that sounds so good, bro. I gotta do the cheesecake now. Yes, yes. Thank you, bro. Would you like just a bite of mine, or like, do you want to share, or do you want the other one?
Whatever you want to do. I'll be down to share. I'll take that one. Depends on how much you want to eat, right? If you want like a whole thing,
Nah, I don't want a whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, man. Can I use it as like a?
Oh, here. And discover there's an issue with it where the line typing being sent up from PDFs. Plumbing through the SDK is identify that and it starts making some changes.
So right now they're coding.
Some new methods. It's gone and edited some existing code, and this looks roughly correct. And would love to merge the PR too.
I would love to do that as well.
Yeah.
Let's do that after the show.
Yes, that sounds great.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much. We're so excited to have
wake me up every
GPT-5
morning.
and Cursor. Starting today.
Excited to partner with you guys. And so starting today, GPT-5 is default for new users in Cursor, and we're releasing it to all Cursor users, free to try for the next few days. So people.
They have the founder of Cursor. That right there, this guy, he's the founder of Cursor. That Cursor is the app that allows you to vibe code different applications. So now they have him on here, and this is what I was talking about earlier. How as the model improves, your company should also improve, right? You do not want to build a feature, right? You want to build a company that solves an external problem that already exists, or creates a brand new market by creating a solution, right? So for instance, like apps like Cursor, Lovable, Replit, they didn't necessarily solve a problem that already exists. They almost created their own market, because back before AI vibe coding, there was only like 2 million people who were actually builders of software and application, right? By creating an AI that allows anybody to code, now you create a brand new market of 2 billion people or whatever who have access to computers and AI to then become builders, to become software engineers. So they didn't solve a problem for developers. They solved the problem for people who never even had access to have that problem, right? So they created their own market by creating a solution. And in those rare cases, it works to have a solution in search of a problem versus the other way around. If you break it down, the true problem was non-skilled coders cannot create apps, right? That's the problem. So by creating a platform that allows you to use AI to build your own applications, you solve that problem and you create a brand new market. You open up billions of more people to then become your customers, versus fighting over the tiny market and the tiny market segment of people who already exist, who have a problem, and then all of your competition fighting over those customers for the same solution. Thank you. You simply you actually open up billions of more people to use your stuff. So that's what he did when he created Cursor, and he's actually improving his business when ChatGPT-5 gets better. So Cursor actually improves now and is not replaced by ChatGPT-5 being able to vibe code within the platform. His business actually improved from that. And you can see that from him sitting here right next to Greg and Sam Altman, talking about how ChatGPT-5 is going to improve vibe coding within Cursor. So this is amazing. I cannot wait to see what you build and what I can build and what we can build together by using this new model.
And it is the smartest model that we've tried. Awesome. Thanks.
Think of it like it's great for the enterprise. We think of it like a subject matter expert that is in your pocket, that is an expert across every domain, legal, finance, whatever application you have in mind. To talk about how GPT-5 can be applied to the enterprise, I'd like to welcome Olivier to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivier. I lead the platform at OpenAI. At this point, I think you got the message.
Olivier to the stage. Thank you.
What does Olivier do?
Thank you, Greg. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivier. I lead the platform at OpenAI. At this point, I think you got the message. We care a ton about developers and coding. But that's not all. Enabling businesses and governments is critical to OpenAI mission. Put shortly, we want to enable the key industries to transform themselves, such as healthcare, education, energy, or finance. Since we launched ChatGPT and the API, 5 million businesses have been using our technology.
Wow.
I'm still mind blown. 5 million businesses. And those businesses are not just playing. They're not just experimenting. They're pushing in production new products in the real world.
That's crazy to think about.
And
imagine building something and 5 million businesses are using what you built to make more money. That's crazy. That's not just 5 million people like watching your stream. That's like 5 million people ingraining your technology into what they're building. Like,
listed on reasons why you should have $500 billion.
Right.
Why it should exist.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right.
I believe GPT-5 is going to be a step function in that regard. As Sam mentioned earlier, the possibility to have a subject matter expert in your pocket is going to enable every employee to do more. But let me give you a few examples. First, I want to talk about life sciences. Amgen is a company in the US that designs new drugs, new medicines to fight some of the toughest human diseases.
How long is this life?
Amgen was one of the first testers of GPT-5, and they used it in the context of drug design. And what Amgen scientists found is that GPT-5 is particularly good at deep reasoning with complex data. Think analyzing scientific literature or clinical data. Next, I want to talk about finance. BBVA is a multinational bank which is headquartered in Madrid, Spain. BBVA has been using GPT-5 for financial analysis. And the takeaway was pretty clear. GPT-5 beats every single other model out there in terms of accuracy and speed. What used to take 3 weeks for a financial analyst to do, GPT-5 can do it in a couple of hours. Next, I want to talk about healthcare. Oscar is an insurance company based in New York. And they've been using GPT-5, and what they found is that GPT-5 is the single best model for clinical reasoning. Think mapping complex medical policy to patient conditions. It's not all about businesses, it's also about governments. We are super excited by the announcement that we made yesterday that the 2 million US federal employees will be able to use GPT-5 in ChatGPT. And I cannot wait to see how that enables to deliver better, faster services to the American people.
The entire US government using ChatGPT.
And frankly, that's all very cool, but I think that's the tip of the iceberg. If history is a teacher, and we've seen it with GPT-4, we are going to see
what I've learned with a lot of these tech companies is that their first breakthrough, like their first beachhead. The term beachhead is like if you're in the water and you're trying to approach land and basically like meet your like segment of customers. Your beachhead is like, you know, when you're in the water and you're approaching an island, the beach is what you first hit. So your beachhead is like that first customer base that you're trying to get. Their beachhead is the U.S. government. It's like that's the first. You're trying to get a government contract. That's the first thing you're trying to do. It's like OpenAI. It seems like they're the ones that are talking to like President Trump, and they're the ones that are in the government. Like they landed that. That's really what makes them the superpower. Like the best AI model right now is just the fact, like AI company is the fact that they have that government contract.
Use cases emerge over the coming weeks and months that all of us could not even imagine. And so I cannot wait for us to invent that future together.
Yeah, bro.
All the other ones.
Let's talk quickly about pricing and availability. GPT-5 is going to be available in the API starting today. 3 models, GPT-5, GPT-5 Mini, GPT-5 Nano. GPT-5 is going to be priced at $1.45 and $10 per million input token and output token. Mini and Nano are even faster and more affordable. Nano, don't sleep on it, is 25 times more affordable than GPT-5. It's pretty cool. I cannot wait to see what you'll build. And next, our chief scientist Jacob is going to put us
George Washington, like an Indian man.
Yeah. It'd probably make like
Thanks, Lee.
Right, exactly.
OpenAI at the core. We are about understanding this miraculous technology called deep learning and what its consequences are. Our research aims to understand what deep learning is capable of.
This guy looks smart.
And how to steer
I don't know who he is, but he just looks
make it safe,
like he looks like a genius. He looks like he's been a boy genius since he was like 8.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Tell me this guy does not look. That guy built AI models when he was like 6.
Team at OpenAI. It is a great privilege.
Oh, poor guy, bro. His teleprompter.
It is a great privilege for me to work alongside this incredible group
Definitely,
of
like,
brilliant people driven by this shared goal. What adds up to a model like GPT-5 are years of investigations aimed not only at producing a great release, but at building understanding of this underlying technology itself. And so a lot of what you'll see in this model are really just early glimpses of new ideas that we believe will go much further. There is a lot we still have to understand, and we look towards a future where AI can uncover new knowledge about the world and meaningfully transform our lives.
One of the
for
main
better.
problems, and this is where this model that they have breaks, is that they're so risk averse. Like OpenAI as a company, and not just OpenAI, but like any major corporation, they're so risk averse that everything has to be so manufactured and like perfect during these demos, where like it goes up there, there's obviously a teleprompter, there's obviously a script, even the jokes are like timed in there, and it's just like, because it's so manufactured, it creates this like awkwardness and this stiffness and this sterileness where like it doesn't feel trustworthy, right? Like it feels too scripted, and then even the testimonials feel like you paid somebody with cancer to come talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't feel right. I love OpenAI. Like, shout out to everything that they're doing. It's just that their approach to actually communicating these things doesn't feel authentic.
But how often have you had a founder? A founder, more often, but like any type of engineer, software engineer, back end, front end, middle ground, like that can speak.
No, I know.
And be lively, like in a casual conversation.
I know.
You know, like it's rough. They need teleprompters.
They need teleprompters.
They are robots.
Well, that's the thing. It's like they need to have creators like me, creators like Roy Lee, creators like RPN. They need to have creators come in there, learn like what is going on, have the breakdown in the meeting, and then we present it. You know what I'm saying? We talk about it. You know, that would be so much more authentic. That's why when I'm in Mind Valley, that's really why everybody's walking up. It's not because I provided them with so much value. I did, but it's more so like they feel like they can just talk to me. Like they feel personable. It's real. And these guys, like, it doesn't, there's zero sauce.
Did you ever
it doesn't feel.
Remember the show called G4?
G4?
Yeah, it was a gaming or Attack of the Show. It was on the gaming channel, on channel 64. Growing up. And, they did game reviews. They reviewed video games, and they talked about video game news and video game, like, console people, like all the stuff we're doing now, but for gaming companies.
Right.
And the only reason it was exciting was because it was people who just gamed.
Yeah.
Talked about it. It was not.
That's right.
Developers.
That's
engineers.
Right. That's right.
It wasn't being like, yeah, it was the sickest model to work on. Like I engineered every point.
Yeah.
For like 30 hours. Like you didn't hear that.
Right. And it's like I really do appreciate that they're letting the people who built the stuff like come up front and like, you know, they deserve the credit. You know what I'm saying? Because they built it, right?
100%.
So like I definitely want to like give them their flowers and say, yo, thank you for like for what you
like
built.
Like a dual thing where a founder's up there and he's kind of like talking about features and then like talks about the feature and then like someone else like you or anybody else like repeating it in layman's terms.
That's right.
They're like, it makes an aircraft model and you're like, whoa, wait. So you're saying that GPT-5 before versus now can model an entire aircraft and its aerodynamics.
That's
and, like,
right.
Tell me, so if I was like looking at and learning about this, like I could see how wind and aerial patterns and shapes affect all these things. He's like, yes, that's exactly right.
Yes.
that's their job.
That's right. Like just formatting it, just repurposing whatever is happening live to an audience who is non-technical and like doesn't understand like how the developers are talking about it.
Yeah, because how many people like ChatGPT is literally, you're not talking to a human, you're talking to a child.
Yeah.
Right? You're telling a child what to do.
Right.
And people don't understand how to tell the child, how do I do this? Tell it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I was telling my mom, she's
Talk
like,
to it.
Yeah, how do I do anything on here? I was like, you just type.
Just talk to
What
it.
if I want to find this out? Just ask.
Just ask. Literally.
That's it. How do I know if it does it? Ask again.
Ask it. Literally, bro. Yeah,
That's it. You'll find out.
That simple. Yeah.
It is literally the most immediate return of...
We hope you'll enjoy what we've built.
Yeah.
You're like, can it do this? And if so, is it good?
We'll get back to sailing.
Okay. Hey, chat, can you do this?
And can you do it well?
It doesn't. You're like, okay, can you do it better? If so, can you make it even better? And it's like, nah, I can't.
Right.
And then you find out. That's it. It's like,
fuck around and find out.
Yeah, you get an answer within like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely need to break. Like, they need to break things down. Even like that's
good.
All right. So this is it over? I'm getting this screen right now. It looks like it's this like weird animation thing. Is it? I'm getting this. Maybe it's over.
Stream break to fix. Maybe they're trying to fix something. Did they say it ended?
Yeah, I think it's wraps. Wow. Yo, okay. Dope. Yo, everybody, thank you for tapping in today. Thank you for watching. Hold on. Yo, thank you for live streaming with me today. Thank you for being here and watching the ChatGPT-5 breakdown and reaction to the ChatGPT-5 release with me, Mr. Grateful, with the legend Dietrich here in Amsterdam. This has been legendary. Being able to react to the next GPT-5 release in Amsterdam with you on live stream, it's the first of its kind. So thank you for being here with me. I got to find a hoodie because I'm freezing right now. And I got to pay up and get out of here. But yo, this was like really fun. When I get back home to San Francisco, it's going to be like so much better. I'm going to have my screens up. I'll have my monitors. It'll be clean audio. Today was my first time doing a tech release like this live. So I've learned and we're improving like rapidly every single day how we execute these live streams. So I really appreciate you being here for the time being. May you be healthy. May you be wealthy. May you be safe. May you feel blessed.